So I think we are live. Guys, can you please comment down below if we are live or not? Just a second. I'll just verify.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. We are live.
Okay.
So guys, good evening. We have Shushmita Badiga with us today. She has completed her post graduation in
Your
accounting
question.
from York University, Canada. Right. So welcome, Shushmita.
Hi.
Uh, so can you please talk more about yourself, your journey from India to Canada?
Yeah, so in India, I did my business administration, and then I did 1.5 years of work with Amazon as a machine learning associate. I know it's not related to my studies at all. I got trained in
Mhm.
it, and then I never really had a plan to go to Canada, but I was just like, you know what, let's just do it. So I applied for Canada in. It took me 6 months to get a reply from York University.
Okay.
So it was very frustrating, and I had very less patience back then. So yeah, so I just applied for York University. I wrote my IELTS. I got a 7 band, and I applied
Right.
for Seneca and I applied for York. I wanted Seneca very badly, but I got rejected. So I took York University, which is really cool. Yeah, so
Uh,
that's like my journey from India to Canada.
right. Right. So you switched your major from
Hmm.
engineering background to a business background, right? To
Yeah.
accounting. How hard was that switch? How
It
difficult
was
was it?
like extremely hard because everyone in my class was so good at it. Like everyone know what's debit, what's credit, they know everything, and I'm literally just looking at their faces and I'm like, what's going on? Is this a bad decision?
Uh-huh.
I'm literally, even after coming to Canada, I did BBA and I majored in finance in my BBA.
Hmm.
So I
Right.
thought it'd be okay, it's gonna be easy. How hard can it be? But once I came here, the terms are so different. It took me like 2 months to just understand the
Mm.
terms of accounting here. But then the professors are helpful and
Hmm.
it's not as difficult as it is in India. Trust me, here
Okay.
the exams are
Okay.
so easy, like literally so easy. You won't believe me. It's all either MCQs or true or false. I mean, like seriously, I studied so much to just like answer true or false. But you will
Uh-huh.
learn a lot, not just educationally, but as a
Hmm.
person. I'm pretty sure everyone is gonna learn a lot in this country.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And talking about learning, right? So last 4 5 months has not been quite well for international
Yeah.
students in Canada, right?
Yep.
So if you could talk more about it, your experience with online classes, part-time job opportunities during the
Yeah.
pandemic,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. So. Uh, Pandemic over here, they started closing everything by the end of February. And even I lost my job because I was working at a restaurant and they
Mm-hmm.
closed everything, especially the restaurants. So I was home for like good 20 days
Mm-hmm.
and I had online classes and they're super easy because
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't attend the classes, they have a recording of it. The professor records it and posts it in your groups so that even if the student couldn't attend for xyz reasons, they can come back and look at it whenever they want, or if they have a doubt
Mm-hmm.
which they didn't understand at the moment, they can again come back and look at them, play it, rewind, whatever, and learn. So yeah, I attended online classes, which are way difficult than going to the school and sitting in front of your lecturer and listening to it, because at home no one's gonna be there and you'll have to self motivate yourself on so many
Mm-hmm.
levels. Like you have to get up and you have to listen to the class, and the exams are also like pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they just send you a link and you have to attend, so that's all okay. So after sitting at home for 20 days, I went crazy because I
Like all
literally
of
had,
us.
yeah. And then again, I started searching for jobs, and luckily, I
Mm-hmm.
got one at Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working again, and I'm like, oh, thank God. But I was very scared every day when I used to travel in the bus because it's like so difficult. But it was okay because people over here are supportive no matter what, to be honest. Like they will try to help you and try their best. So for other people, like for one of few of my friends, they lost their jobs too, and it was like very difficult for them to get a job. Even now, like there's so many people who are losing their jobs, and for students especially,
Mm-hmm.
because you can only work 20 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what the government has said is if you're a frontline worker, you can do more than 20 hours legally. Like you can go ahead and do full time, and they gave that lenience to us. So a lot of people are doing that right now, but we're hoping that it's going to pick up in September,
Mm-hmm.
and the businesses will be back and running again. So there'll be a lot of job opportunities for newcomers. But what I would suggest is I mean, not to rush and just be like, I have to go to Canada. I have to. You don't do that. Just take your own
Mm-hmm.
time. If you already got an admission, even if you're in India, go ahead with the online classes. Like, don't defer unless and until it's extremely necessary. Don't defer because trust me, you will save a lot of money because
Mm-hmm.
like you can save your rent here, you can save a lot of bills here if you're just doing from online, and the government is okay giving you a work permit for 1 year or 3 years. I think that should be really good because you'll save a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money, because
Mm-hmm.
anyway
Mm-hmm.
you have to come one day and you will obviously experience everything, but just don't rush
Right.
yourself into it. And
Mm-hmm.
there are good job opportunities right now.
Okay, 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 right, awesome. So we have one question in the comments. I'll just pop the question over here. Yeah. So what's the process of CPA after accounting course?
Yeah,
Do has asked this. Yeah.
so even I came with the mindset that I'm going to do CPA. But after
Hmm.
doing accounting, that changed completely.
Okay. So what exactly is CPA?
So basically, it's just like CA in India, to be honest.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just
Right.
that. It depends, like, it's gonna be very hard, that I can assure you.
Mm-hmm.
CPA is like very hard. It's just like I told you again, it's just like CA in India. So it's gonna eat
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time, and you need to like dedicate so many hours a day just doing that. And then again it's going to take
Mm-hmm.
you at least 4 years to 5 years if you want to like full-fledgedly do it, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't completely study it, you study work, so it's like a process you go through to do the CPA. uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of students including me thought I would do CPA, but trust me, your mindset will be completely different once you come here. Yeah, so
Right,
that's
right,
that.
right. Okay, okay. And so you have worked in India for 1.5 years, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And now you have just started working in Canada. So what is the difference in work culture,
Okay.
the working hours, yeah, all of that.
Yeah. So in India, to be honest, there's not much difference when it comes to work ethics or anything like that here. Um, in India, you have to be a little more, alert, or
Mm,
you have to
mm,
like be like, oh my God, my manager is gonna kill me if he, sees this or that. Over here, it's not like that. They will like let you do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, they just ask you to be like, I gave you this much work. Are you done with it or
mm,
not? That's it.
mm,
So that's the
mm,
only thing
mm.
I like here. Like no one will be checking on you every time. Like, are you done? Are you done? No one's gonna like eat your brain all the time. Sitting like
Got it, got it, got
people
it,
are really good and supportive in that way. Even I
got it.
worked in restaurants too. I worked in like so many
Mm,
restaurants.
mm.
Uh, and even there they're really good. Like it's simple, it's like I'll pay you, you do this work, you go home, that's it, nothing else. So that's good in a few ways.
Got it, got it. And so you're talking about part-time jobs, right? So
Hmm.
how are the part-time job opportunities in Toronto, and how was your experience over the last 2 years? What
um,
all part-time jobs did you work? Yeah.
so when I just came, I didn't get a job for the first 2.5, 3 months, and it was like a very big challenge because you have to like manage your expenses, you have to pay bills. You will get GIC, but
Mm-hmm.
trust me, that will not be enough at all. You have to earn money, or you have to get an income from somewhere, which is very obvious because we pay GIC thinking, okay, for the next 1 year, I'll just be getting GIC every month and, I can chill. It's okay if I don't do a job. No, it's not at all like that. Like, literally, you have to work. And I got my first job in one of the Indian restaurants, and
Mm-hmm.
the owner was really good. So I worked as a cashier and a server, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the starting, every day I used to be like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to do. But then again, you have to because you don't have another option. So
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and then now I really like my restaurant job than my office job, to be honest.
Okay.
But if you get in a good place, trust me, you
Mm-hmm.
will enjoy it because the staff, like your chefs, they will just make something really special which is not on the menu, and they'll be like, let's
Mm.
everyone have it. Or sometimes the customers are so sweet, and then if you work in a restaurant, you get good tips. I'm really glad there's a really good tip culture in Canada. No matter what, they
Okay.
give a tip. So
Okay.
that is good. So I really encourage everyone to get a job in a restaurant. And also,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys like bartending, that's like
Mm-hmm.
full on money. Like, seriously,
Okay.
you just have to write like there'll be a small course for
Mm-hmm.
bartending called Smart Serve. It's like 30
Mm-hmm.
hours videos, not 30, 10 hours, sorry, 10 hours videos. You just have to see it
Okay.
and write an exam, and you get something called Smart Serve, with which you can
Uh-huh.
like work in restaurants, like serve alcohol and stuff. So I wanted to go to bartending school. So that's how crazy I became after a few days.
And the course is totally online, right?
Pardon me?
Or uh, the course is totally
Yes.
online. The marketing course.
Uh, no, yeah, our last two subjects of mine were online. Everything else
Uh-huh.
was in my school. I had to go to school every day, and I took a house like so far from the school, which was again a very bad decision. Like, my classes were like from 12 to 3 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to start at 9 so that I can reach
What?
school at 12. So it was like so
Okay.
far. It was a very bad
Okay.
decision.
Right. So we have
But
one more
mhm.
question from the comments. Right. I'll just take that question. So yeah, in York University, we have two courses in accounting, and one course is sufficient to get a job of junior accountant. So, do you have any idea of the courses
um,
of accounting in York University? Yeah.
I know that York has accounting in PG, but the next one is after you do accounting. Like, what I did is the first course. The next one is after
Hmm.
this course.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
most of them try and do the next course too, but it's very difficult. And one of my professors told us that 15 people failed in that next course. So I was like, you know what? No way I'm doing this.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
otherwise,
Hmm.
if you're really determined to do this accounting course, you should go ahead. And if
Hmm.
you're really determined to do CPA, I will
Hmm.
I will definitely suggest you to go ahead and do the next course too, because it's gonna like teach you so much that you will never imagine.
Hmm. Hmm. Correct. Correct. Okay.
Otherwise,
So, uh, yeah.
if you want to like not just go into accounting, but if you want to keep your options open, you can also do business administration or global business management from other college, or there's business administration at York University too. So
Hmm.
if you do that, your career path will just widen, because then you will learn marketing, finance, and HR. So you can go anywhere. If you do accounting, you just have to stick to it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Right, right. So, are there any difference in job opportunities if a person does PG or masters, right? So,
Um, no,
I'm talking about PG diploma and masters. Is there any difference in
no,
terms of job opportunities?
no. There's no difference in job opportunities at all. Here, the
Uh-huh.
only thing people will see is how much you know. That's
Mm.
it. They don't care if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't, they don't even care if you did a PG or not. They just want to see
Mm.
how much you have knowledge about the subject. And if you will be
Okay.
able to do the job they gave you, it's simple. And here, you really need to have good network or good connections.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
simple thing, like how we have something called as, bribing in India. Here, it's the same, but it's not bribing, it's connections. So if you have someone in
Mm.
that office and
Mm.
you can just put their name on the resume and be like, this is my reference, you will get the first
Mm.
priority. It's like
Okay.
as simple as that.
And how can students build their network in Canada?
So most of them use LinkedIn. They just go
Mm.
and see the York alumni and
Mm.
try and connect to them and talk to them, and or you will, I mean, literally, to be honest, literally you will find people everywhere. You just have to start the
Mm.
conversation.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm. Mm.
Some
Got it.
people
Mm.
will obviously be like, no, I don't want to talk to you. You can ignore such people, and some people will be more than helpful. They'll be like, okay, let me
Mm.
help you with this. So you just have to like be the first person to talk. Simple.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of students have asked us about the PR opportunities in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for them, PR has become the gold standard for
Yeah.
PR,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, how difficult or easy is it to get a PR in Canada? And yeah,
Um, it's not difficult. I just want to make it clear. It is not
okay.
difficult at all. So, to get a PR, I would suggest, if you have 2 years experience in India, work experience in
Mm-hmm.
India, or two and
Mm-hmm.
a half work years experience, I would suggest just do one more year of work in India, and don't come as
Mm-hmm.
a student. Directly apply for a PR, and you will have a good shot
Mm-hmm.
at getting it. Just have to like
Mm-hmm.
do your IELTS, try getting a good
Mm-hmm.
band like 8.5 or 8.5 at
Mm-hmm.
least,
Right.
and you don't even have to come as a student. You'll directly get your PR. But
Okay. Okay.
if you don't
Right.
have so much experience, then you can come as a student, do a 2 year course.
Mm-hmm.
If you have no experience at all, like seriously
Mm-hmm.
no experience, or don't take a 1 year course. Take a 2 year course,
Okay.
because now they're changing the rules, and they're not giving 3 years work permit anymore. They're going to give you the exact work permit of how many years or months you studied. Like if I did a 8 month course, I'm only going to get an
Mm-hmm.
8 month work permit.
Right.
And if I don't have any experience back home, then I have to go back
Mm-hmm.
after 8 months, because I can't drop for a PR.
Right. 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 Right.
So I
Okay.
would strongly suggest, if you have no experience at all, take a 2 year course. You'll get 3 year work permit, and then in those 3 years, you will find a job. Trust me, you will find a PR job. You just So we have something called as NOC categories.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so if you get something under NOC B, then you can
Mm-hmm.
apply for PR. And getting an
Okay.
NOC B is really easy. It doesn't just mean that you have to get a job in accounting, or if you did sales you have to, no. Even few of the call centers offer you
Mm-hmm.
NOCB category jobs.
Okay. Okay.
And it's
Okay. Right.
easy. So
Right.
once you get that job and work for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
you can directly apply for PR. You'll
Right.
get
Right. Right.
points
Right.
and apply for PR.
Got.
And
Got it.
to increase your points, you can learn French. It's not very
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn French.
Mm-hmm.
That will just add
Mm-hmm.
points to your resume, to your
Right.
PR thing. Simple. Yeah.
PR points. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 And so one point in that answer, right? So
Hmm.
that if a person already has 2 years of experience in India, he should wait for one more year and then apply for a PR in Canada directly.
Yes. Yes.
So is there any difference between 2 years or 3 years work experience in India and then applying?
So it depends upon your points basically. So it's like one to
Okay.
2 years have 15-20 points, and then 2 to 3
Uh-huh.
years have
Uh-huh.
next level,
Uh-huh.
some more points. So I would
Got it.
suggest, I did 1.5 year and I'm getting good points, so I can just imagine
Mm.
people having 3 years of experience
Mm.
and just
Mm-hmm.
directly apply for
Mm-hmm.
PR. Like, don't you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
spend so much money on all your education again, all over again. and study,
Right.
and then again you'll have to wait for a PR. Don't do that. Like literally directly apply for a PR.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Because now
mm-hmm. Right, right.
Canada is like they're literally like welcoming people to boost their
Uh-huh.
economy. So
Right,
it's gonna be
right.
very easy to get a PR, especially in the Corona time. Trust me, the next
Uh-huh.
1.5 year, it's gonna be a jackpot for every Indian student.
Right, right, right. Okay, okay. And um, if you had a Shushmita,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So yeah, if you had a chance to go to Canada after your 12th class for your
Mm-hmm.
undergraduation, would you do that?
I would do that
Oh,
strongly, like heads down. You have to do it because when you come as soon as you're 12, you will of
mm-hmm,
course learn so much, like literally so much, and also your
mm-hmm,
opportunities will automatically increase because
uh-huh,
as as you start, even for the points, there's this thing. If you're about
mm-hmm,
25, 26, and then you keep going, your points keep decreasing. And once it
right,
touches 30, and later your points is going to keep decreasing more because they want
right,
young
right,
people basically. So if you
right,
come after
right,
12, it's going to be so advantageous for you. You'll get a 3-year work permit, or if you, which is
mm-hmm,
like super easy. And if you do your graduation from here, undergrad from here, you'll have too many
mm-hmm,
opportunities, like
mm-hmm,
too many opportunities.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Got it,
It's
got it,
easier for
got it.
kids, right? They learn soon, so it's kind of like that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Right, right. And so, is it compulsory to learn French in Toronto?
No.
Because
No.
some of my friends in Montreal say that French is
Yeah.
important over there for part-time jobs. And so, is
Yes.
it the case in Toronto? How different
No.
is it?
So in Montreal, you have to speak French because
Mm-hmm.
the people who live there are like the native is like French language. They like,
Yeah.
so Quebec wants to be a different country. Like they fought to be
Oh,
a whole
okay.
different country. Can you imagine that? Just because they have everything, they
Right.
have their own language, they have their own culture, so they have everything
Uh-huh.
that a different country needs, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to work there, like just imagine you're working in a coffee shop, and people there don't
Mm-hmm.
know English; they only know French because
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
how they
Right.
work. And if you don't know
Right.
French, what are you going to serve them, right?
Right.
So if
Right.
you want to
Right.
be in
Right.
Montreal or in Quebec or work there, you have to learn French.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Mm-hmm.
very difficult. You just like
Okay.
stay there for a month, you will understand most of it. It's not very
Right.
difficult.
Right. Right.
This only happens in Montreal and Quebec. Anywhere in Canada
Uh-huh.
except for that place, you
Uh-huh.
don't need French at all.
Okay. Got it. So we have one question in the comments. What is your house rent for a month?
So yeah, that's a good question. Your house rent completely depends upon how you want to live.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to share it with, uh, to be honest, the house rents are like very expensive in Canada at this moment. They are like very high. But if
Mm-hmm.
you if you want to like live in an independent house, like take a three bedroom house, make sure you are at
Mm-hmm.
least 6 7 people, so that
Okay.
you will be paying, because you can like share two people each room, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you can at least share, and then it will be like what, around $450 a month.
Mm-hmm. And this is around York University, right?
Around York University will be more expensive because
And mhm.
that will be around like easily 600 per month.
Okay, okay,
So
got it.
you, now they're saying that the rents might decrease because of Corona.
Mhm. Right,
Every
right,
business is quite right. So you
right.
never know. But if you want to live around York University, then it's going to be a little expensive. That I can assure you.
Mhm,
So
mhm, mhm,
what
mhm,
most of
mhm,
the students do is they stay a little far away from the university because they try to get a house where they get the part time.
mhm, mhm. Right,
Because
right,
university you have to go, you don't have an option. But part time
right.
is something you can yourself search for, right? Like you can
Mhm,
work
mhm,
whenever you
mhm.
want. Like they make sure it's near your home because you never know when you'll get a shift. So
Right,
if they
right.
call and be like you have to be here, and what are you gonna do, right? So
Mhm,
people try
mhm.
and search to get a house near the part time where they're working.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. And so, uh, how much is the total expense of a student if he lives near York University, right? So 600 would be his rent, right?
Yeah, and
Food, transportation, and all of
no,
that.
the first thing, this is the funniest part. So the phone bills are so expensive here. You'll at least be paying like, if you come here, there's a
Uh-huh.
concept called, if you go with a carrier, network carrier, like suppose there's Airtel. If you go with
Uh-huh.
them, you can even get a
Uh-huh.
phone and then pay it every
Okay.
month. So everyone
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Canada does that. Even if
Uh-huh.
you come, you will do that. So basically, you will actually be paying
Right.
like $100 a month just for your phone bill.
$100 a month. Okay.
Literally, you
That
will
is
just do that.
that is phone plus the calls, right? The
Yes, yes,
actual phone and the calls, right?
yes,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
So you will be paying so much at least.
Okay. And how much
So
is the average? Yeah.
um, the average will be at least around $800 to $900,
Okay.
but that's in Toronto. But if
Okay.
you
Hmm.
want to stay in Montreal, it's gonna be a little cheaper because the rents are a little cheaper in
Hmm.
Montreal, and
Hmm.
food and everything also cuts down because it's a complete different province and everything is completely like new, and it's
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
little
Hmm.
different there. So it will
Right.
be
Right.
cheaper to
Right.
study in Montreal. Your
Hmm.
living expenses or your food or any other thing, it's gonna be less.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
We have one question in the comments. I'll
Hmm.
just show it over here. Yeah. Is it easy to get a part-time job in Canada?
Um, yeah, it is easy to get a part-time job in Canada.
Uh-huh.
You should just have. I tell my friends who are coming to Canada, I just send them one of my resumes and I'm like, just remove my name, put your name, and bring a
Oh,
200 to 300 copies with you, like literally,
okay. Okay.
because Xerox is so expensive here.
Oh,
You don't want to spend money at all, and you will at least need like 300 copies.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Literally, because you're on the street and you have to go and give your resume everywhere because you don't know who's gonna call you, right? So I literally went to downtown and I remember giving like 200 copies in one day in every restaurant, in every convenience store I knew. And I still didn't get a
Mm-hmm.
job for the first 2 months, so it was so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, um, now there are good opportunities for part time because many
Mm-hmm.
new businesses opened, and I suggest most of the students to come in summer
Okay.
because it's easier to get a part time.
Okay.
Because summer is
Basami, you
when
mean the July intake
uh,
or
May.
May intake? Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. And why did you choose Canada? Why not the US, Australia, or any other country?
Yeah, it'll be funny, but Australia, my dad told he will not send me to Australia because
Okay.
so I never got Australia in my mind. US was never in my mind because I don't know, I somehow don't like going there. But I wanted to go to
Uh,
UK.
UK.
So
Okay.
yeah, because it's same. My expenses would be same if I go to UK and
Hmm.
Canada. But
Hmm.
all I thought
Hmm. Hmm.
was which opportunities. So Canada had better opportunities in getting a PR, so that's why I picked
Right.
Canada.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And if I may ask, why not Australia?
Australia,
Is there any?
yeah,
Uh,
there's a strong reason for it. Right now
uh,
there are too many students in Australia, like too many.
mhm,
I have so many of my friends who went there and still didn't get a
mhm.
part-time job. It's
Yes. Yes.
basically like
Yes. Yes. I
everyone
agree.
told me with resumes and jobs you're never going to get a job, and forget about your
Hmm.
future
Hmm.
opportunities, right? It's just, see,
Right.
when it's a small country the opportunities will be limited,
Yes.
and if the population increases there are very bad chances of you getting a job,
Right.
as simple
Right.
as that.
Right. Right. So last week I was actually researching for a
Mhm.
YouTube video. Right. I was making a video on PR in Australia.
Okay.
Right. And I saw that for getting a PR in the accounting field, right, you need 90 points, which are
Oh,
way too high.
okay.
Right. So yeah, yeah. With time, getting a PR in Australia is becoming more difficult.
Yeah, it is. That's why. So, see,
Yes.
when a country is like literally calling you and like, we'll give you jobs, we'll give you a
Right.
PR,
Right.
you
Right.
just have
Right.
to go and
Right.
run
Right.
with that opportunity.
Uh-huh. Right. So we have a question in the comments. I'll just pop it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is the finance sector affected due to the pandemic? Do you suggest new students to pursue in this sector during this fall?
Yeah, so it's not just finance, every sector is
Mm-hmm.
affected. Like literally, even a convenience store is affected. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
bad
Mm-hmm.
this pandemic has gone. And finance sector is more affected because in finance sector, like that's one of the main, that's like a major sector in your industry, right? So
Mm-hmm. Right.
you pay more salaries to finance sector people, so you will try to
Mm-hmm.
cut down them so that you can save money,
Mm-hmm.
like you get
Got
the
it.
connection, right? So of
Mm.
course you finance people will lose more jobs because they are getting paid more and people want to save money,
Uh-huh.
so you are gone.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Uh-huh.
as simple
Uh-huh.
as that. But
Right.
IT
Right.
sector is a boom right now. If you want to like learn a few Java and Python courses, I would strongly
Uh-huh.
suggest do that. Like literally.
Uh-huh. 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 Right. 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 So in May and June, we saw a lot of movement in the USA regarding the Black Lives Matter movement, right?
Mhm.
So, have you seen Indian students getting, some kind of racism, facing some kind of
Yeah.
racism in
Yes.
Canada, or yeah,
I did.
if you
I
have any
did.
experience to
I
share?
I personally
What?
had that experience. So
Okay, okay,
I was Canadians are very sweet compared to US people, hands
okay,
down.
okay,
They're so
right.
respectful and they really love Indians. I don't know why, but they're very respectful. But you will have a few Americans
Hmm.
here who like shifted from US to Canada after Trump got voted because
Hmm.
they didn't want to go through all that.
Okay.
So I was in a train the other day and I was just sitting and talking to the other lady who was also an Indian, but she was born. Her parents were Indian, so she was born here and
Hmm.
brought up here, but she looks Indian, right? So
Right.
the
Right.
lady who was sitting next to, adjacent to her, she was an American, and she just got up
Okay.
and she stood. She like preferred standing instead of sitting beside her just because she looks like an Indian. And I was like, "What's going on?" And then she told me, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what you have to go through every day, no
Hmm.
matter what, because you're in a different country and it's not normalized here. People do act out and they do tell that this is wrong, but then again you should not just take it too hard. You should be like, okay, it's okay. And if you're
Right.
not comfortable, you can just raise your voice and people will support you around you. Like, they're very good here.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. And how harsh are the winters in Toronto?
So yeah, this was one thing I was like very scared of, the
Uh-huh.
winters, because I have like a sinus problem. So I was like, I'm gonna die in the winter. But it's not bad. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
invest in a good jacket. You
Mm-hmm.
just, I literally suggest this, just invest in a good jacket. So
Mm-hmm.
once you invest in a good jacket, you will never know the weather. Like literally never know the weather. I used to wear my summer t-shirts and wear one jacket, and I used to be like, it's still hot, man. Like
Uh-huh.
literally
Okay.
minus 20 degrees. I'm like, it's hot. So it just depends upon like which jacket you're buying. Many people like
Right.
they wear like 3, 4 jackets and they're still shivering. You don't have to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy one
Mm-hmm.
good jacket, it's gonna go till 6, 7 years now.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
one good jacket will cost you around $600 to $700. Don't think
Mm-hmm.
twice. Just invest in it. If you're trying to be in Canada for a longer time, just invest in it.
Right.
It's gonna help you a
Right.
lot.
Right. 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 So we have one more question in the comments. I'll by Sunida. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see your future in Canada after the graduation?
Graduation.
So I guess you can answer it in a general sense, right? How do international students see their future after study in Canada?
So it's simple again. If you want to get an office job and if you want to like do a 9 to 5 job, you just have to prepare your mind what you
Mm.
exactly want. Because
Right.
after graduation, it's completely upon you where you want to take your life, right? If I want to do a 9 to 5 job, I'm going to work a little more harder, do whatever courses or do whatever interviews it might take and get a 9 to 5
Mm.
job. And it's okay for me. That'll be
Right.
okay. But if I don't want to do a 9 to 5 job, I can totally work in a restaurant. And if I
Mm.
if I
Mm.
show him that I'm gonna stay and stick with him and his business for a long period of time,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
he might give you a PR too. He might just sponsor
Okay.
you. So it
Right.
completely
Right.
depends upon you. After graduation, there
Hmm.
are a lot of opportunities. You don't have to think that, I did accounting, I'm only going to stick to accounting. No. If you want to do
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
else,
Hmm.
go ahead. There's so many courses you don't even know that, oh God, something like this exists. So you just have to
Right.
explore and research.
Hmm. 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 Right. So we'll take two more questions. Right. One of them would be from the comments. Yeah.
Hmm.
Coming from India, as someone who has never has been. Okay. So. Mm, okay. So he has. Uh, uh,
Yeah,
in India we don't have
yeah.
snow, right? So how was
So
that experience for?
let me tell you this. Don't worry about the snow, worry about the summers. The
But
summers are
okay.
extremely hot. I came in September, and then my
Uh-huh.
cousin who stays here in Canada told me it's
Right.
gonna be cold. Get a jacket. So I wore a jacket,
Uh-huh.
and I come out. It's hot. It was
Okay.
18 degrees, and it was hot, like so hot I couldn't imagine. The first 1 month I had sunburns.
But 18 degrees doesn't
Yeah,
sound that
it
hot.
doesn't sound, but the sun is harsher because there's very less ozone layer, so your sun will
Okay.
burn. Without a sunscreen, don't go out.
Yeah.
The winters are okay because you apply a cream and you get out, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay because you have your boots, you have your gloves, you have your jacket. Nothing else will matter. But
Mm-hmm.
winters are like really
Mm-hmm.
big. But you have to worry about the summers and not the winters. Trust me.
Right, 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 right. Okay, so I guess we have one last question,
Okay.
right? I guess we have talked about this, but
Yeah.
get to see you live.
Okay. So
uh,
as I told before, you should definitely send your children abroad after 12th class because
just
that's when
just
you
just a second,
start
just a second,
learning.
just a
Sure.
second. Is this your father or your family member?
Yeah, that's one
Shrikant
of
sir?
my cousins. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Hi,
yeah, you
Shrikant.
should definitely do
Good to
it.
see you here.
That's my cousin. Yeah.
Great, great, great.
Yeah. So yeah, about I told you before too, right? If you're done with 12th and if you want to go abroad, just do it. Don't wait till you complete your undergraduation
Hmm,
because that's just a waste of
hmm,
time.
hmm,
You
hmm,
might
hmm,
as well
hmm.
just come here and learn something in those 3 years. You will learn more, to be honest.
Right, 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 correct, correct. So I guess that is it for the questions, right? I'll just check my list of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes, yes, we have covered all the questions. Okay, yeah. One last question, which is very important.
Sure.
Okay, so should students opt for online classes or defer their intake to spring 21 or fall 21?
So it completely depends on your mindset. If you're like so determined, like
Mm-hmm.
no, I have to go to Canada. I don't care. I don't want to do online. I have to be in the country. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
that. Just go for online classes because you will save a lot of money, and the education is the
Mm-hmm.
same online and in class.
Right, 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 right.
But if you're all about the experience that I have to experience this culture, I have to go to Canada, I have to
Mm-hmm.
know how people work here, or I have to see what I can do better, then defer
Mm-hmm.
yourself. But I
Mm-hmm.
suggest you to come in the September of 2021 or in the May of 2021.
Right.
Yeah, you will have better opportunities if you come in May because summer and everything is open and people are out. And
Mm-hmm.
so I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest you to defer only if you want to experience. And if you just
Right.
want to come to the country, then don't do it. Go for online classes.
Uh-huh. 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 Sorry, we have one more question in
Sure.
the comments, right? So he's saying that he is 40 plus, right?
Hmm.
So can he come to Canada, maybe, direct
Yeah,
PR or something? Yeah.
yeah.
What could be his best
So
chance?
he, so I told you, right? Once you cross 30, your points keep
Mm,
decreasing as your age increases because
right.
it's simple. Canada has less population, and 80% of it is people above 70 years.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
there's no income, right? So they have
Right.
to boost their economy.
Right.
And that's why where we come into the picture. That's why they're like, just come to our country so that we can boost their economy and they can pay.
Hmm.
So if you're 40
Hmm.
plus, your chances are very less. But
Okay.
if you get a good lawyer, here we call consultants as lawyers. So if you get a good
Okay.
lawyer and if they can get you an LMI is nothing but uh, someone giving you a job.
Hmm.
So if you get that and if they're ready to sponsor you, then you can come to
Right.
Canada.
Right.
But you get the LMI for 6 months and you can
Hmm.
get that. And once the 6 months is done, you can apply for a PR. But that's not how it works all the time. It's just luck, to be honest. After 40, it's too
Got it.
late. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right, right. So I guess that is it with the questions,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
So thank you for joining in, right?
Right. That's
Um, a lot of myths were,
mhm.
demystified, right?
Yeah.
Particularly the summer and
Yeah.
winter.
Yes. Don't worry about the winters in Canada. Worry about the summers. Seriously.
Right. Okay. Okay, then, guys. Bye bye. Thank you for
Okay.
joining in. Yeah.
Bye now,
I'll just
guys.
end the broadcast. I'll just
Yep.
end the broadcast. Just
Okay.